Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. I'd like to welcome everybody. Today is a very auspicious day of Vasant Panchami. Not just auspicious because of Vasant Panchami, but great souls have come and gone on this day. And we will be trying to talk about all of them today and tomorrow, because there's so many of them, we're going to have to split it into two satsangs. So we'll start first with Karuna Bandamataji, who will talk about Vasant Panchami. And you can share the screen if you have anything to show, huh? Mataji?
Okay, Prabhu. Yeah. Hi, meeting controls. Hare Krishna, everyone.
Hare Krishna.
So today we are celebrating Vasant Panchami. It's on the Shukla Panchami or the Gaura Panchami, 5 days after the Amavasya normally. And according to astrologers, it is a very auspicious day to start new work or anything new. And I remember in 2006, we had our Griha Pravesh in our new home. So it's considered very auspicious to do new things, start new things. So why do we celebrate Vasant Panchami? In Bhagavad Gita, Shri Krishna says that among the seasons, he is Vasant, when the flowers blossom. This is in chapter 10, text 35, the spring season. Lord Krishna says that we can see him or feel his presence across this universe through his creation, because from him everything emanates, from his power or Shakti. Everything is part of himself. We can thus connect to and remember the Supreme Lord through his creations and festivals, just like the Vasant Panchami. The appearance of Goddess Saraswati also falls on the same day. The Goddess Saraswati, the goddess of Vani, sound, music, speech, and Vidya, knowledge. Lord Krishna says that he is the Adhyatmic Vidya. This is in chapter 10 itself, verse 32. So, Lord Krishna is the Adhyatmic Vidya, the knowledge of the self, the soul, his eternal, our eternal relationship with the Supreme Lord, and the knowledge about who is the Supreme Lord also. So Saraswati Mata helps us, help all those who are in search of the Supreme Truth. So it's very nice to seek her blessings today. There is also the river Saraswati, which descends on earth and flows near Badrinath, near Lord Vyasadev's ashram. Lord Krishna performs also the Vasant Ras Lila on Govardhan Hill on Vasant Panchami day, and there was a full moon on that day. So curiously, normally on the 5th waxing moon day, we don't have full moon, but on that day there was full moon at night when Shri Krishna was performing the Vasant Ras Lila on Govardhan. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Karuna, for a quick run through Vasant Panchami. Good information as well. A lot of information I didn't know. So thank you so much for that. Really good.
And we've been getting photos of deities all over the world, and they're all dressed in yellow today. So again, this must be the color for Vasant Panchami everywhere.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody else? Any comments on Vasant Panchami? Anything that you may have been celebrating in the past, which you like
you
to
remember
share?
from your childhood?
Haribol, this is when they do the kite flying.
No, that is Makar Sankranti.
Oh, okay.
Oh, how's Aruna, by the way?
She's
Oh,
has joined.
great,
She's
great,
joined.
great. I'm glad you're there, Aruna. Thank you.
Good.
Very good, very good,
Mhm.
very good.
Prabhuji,
Mm.
yes,
Very
we have always associated Vasant Panchami with a sort of like a happiness
Mm.
and new beginnings, even from the childhood. And I think yellow signifies the new crops, which
Mm.
is sort of in the spring or Vasant Rutu in India.
Mm.
So I think that's what it means.
Mustard flowers.
Right.
Mm.
Yes. But it's always a happy time, Vasant Panchami, and any new things. There's no murat necessary needed on this day.
Okay.
It is also the celebration of the start of the celebration of Holi festival.
No.
Okay.
I've read that on the internet.
Okay. I
Right.
don't know about that.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. So we had a few new beginnings today. We appointed the solicitor to begin the work on the property, to buy the property. We also set up a company under,
Haribo.
under,
Haribo.
under the charity, which will hold the property. And also we appointed two new trustees today. Naveen Koshla, a very nice businessman, and also Ashwin Soni, who helped with the, Naniban, you'll know this Crowley Sanatan Mandir.
Yes, I was there, and I sort of at the opening I was there
Oh, you were there?
when Ramesh Bhai Oza did the sapta there,
Okay.
and we did yes, all the auspicious things. I was there. Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay, great. So he's joining us as trustee.
Yes, he's a trustee there. I think I know him by his name,
Yeah.
and probably if I see his photo, but he rings a bell. Ashwin Soni.
Yeah. So he's joining us as well as trustee. And because he phoned on the other day saying, how can I help? So, and his mood was so wonderful. I thought, you can definitely help us.
Yes, I
And
know him.
yeah, and they started same as we are going to start. So very small beginning, and then they built it up. And he was there from the beginning. So in that way, we will get a lot of his experience. All the mistakes they made, we'll probably make them again with him. So, all right, thank you. So,
Yeah.
Riansh, yes.
He's not there.
I think he's left.
No,
He
yeah,
will-
he's having problems with
Okay,
the
hang on.
internet.
He's just,
Yeah,
he's just joining
he's
again.
having problems with the internet.
He's just joining again.
Yeah, he was having problems yesterday as well.
Mhm. Just give him a couple
Yeah, give me a
Minute.
minute or two. Can you hear us, Riansh?
Oh, that's Chitrak and
Yeah, he's just joined.
okay.
Riansh, can you hear us?
Yes, Prabhuji.
So
Okay.
if you'd like to start, you can.
What, Prabhuji?
On Saraswati? You talking about Saraswati?
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah, so you can do that now.
Mantras also?
Yes, yes.
If you want, yes. You can share the screen if you want to as well.
Prabhuji, can you wait 1 second?
Sure,
Yeah.
we can wait. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Is that enough time, Riansh?
What, Prabhuji?
You can start.
You ready?
Yeah.
If you want
Yeah.
more time, we can do something else first. Rianch?
Yes, Prabhuji, you can do something.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
Chitra.
Chitra, would you like to do yours presentation?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Great.
I don't have anything to share on the
That's
screen.
okay.
It's
That's
quite
okay.
a short story.
Sure.
So Vishnupriya Devi is the second wife of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. She was the daughter of Pandit Sanatan Mishra. They got married when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was around 17 or 18. Vishnupriya Devi used to bathe at the river every day to purify herself, and there she would meet Sachimata. So Sachimata knew that she would make a good wife for her son the moment the matchmaker proposed the marriage. So after they got married, then very soon after, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu decided to take sannyas. So they did not actually spend a lot of time together. Some people say that Vishnupriya Devi is the reincarnation of Satyabhama, the third wife of Krishna, and that her father was the reincarnation of Satyabhama's father. So it's basically a recreation of the same family. And that's about it for Vishnupriya. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Well done.
I think Mahaprabhu was also very naughty when he used to go to the Ganga. Was this the case? Was it the case with Vishnupriya, or was
think
it
it's the
Hari?
first one.
Yeah, maybe, yeah, first one.
He
Lakshmi.
met his first wife at the
Yeah,
river.
yeah. That's right. That's right. Okay, good, good. Anything else? Anybody else on this topic? Okay. So, Rianch, are you ready now?
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, Sindulika Mataji?
If Rianch is not ready, I can do
Sure,
mine.
sure.
But give the child push. I'll give him the chance, give him the time also.
Riyansh, are you ready now?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay, go
Okay,
ahead.
go ahead, Rianch.
Go ahead.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Today I am going to recite three important shlokas about Saraswati Devi.
Mhm.
Can I present my screen, Prabhuji?
Yes, you can.
Go
You
ahead,
can.
go
Yeah,
ahead.
Go ahead.
Can you see my screen
Yes.
can
Yes.
hear me?
Yes, yes, Riyansh. Everything's good. Carry on.
Okay, Mataji. Saraswati namastubhyam varade kamarupini vidyarambam karishyami siddhi bhavatu me sada. Mabhubhava swaha esvat varaneyam tahurgo devasya dhimahi dhiyo yona prachodayat.
Gayatri. Interesting.
Om Vageshwariye Vidmahe Vagvedinaye Dhimahe Tanna Saraswati Prachodayat.
Have we lost you?
Prabhuji?
Yeah, carry on.
Finished Prabhuji.
Okay. Did you want to say anything at all about Saraswati Mata?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Go ahead.
I can tell someone, Prabhuji. Can I tell someone, Prabhuji?
You want to tell some?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah, go ahead.
Again, can you see my screen, Prabhuji?
Yes.
That I want to tell is that Mother Saraswati is wife of Lord Brahmaji, and she is one of goddess, one of goddess who gives us vidya, means knowledge.
Good.
And she always sits on a lotus and always think of Lord Krishna whole day, and she has 4 hands. In her first hand, in her first hand, she always thinks of Krishna, and in second and third hand, she always put her veena, and in her fourth hand she holds a book, and
Have you finished, Riyansh?
yes, Prabhuji.
Well done. Thank you so much. You did good. And I like the way
Thank you,
you said,
Prabhuji.
I like what you said. She's always thinking of Krishna. That's absolutely right. Well done.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Okay. Indulika Maji?
Hare Krishna, Babuji. Yes, once again.
Come on.
10 and 13.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Good.
Okay, so today I'm going to talk on the life of Pundarika Vidyadidhi. So Pundarika Vidyanidhi's father was named Paneshwara and his mother was Ganga Devi. So he was born on Vasant Panchami, so which we just talked about, we just heard about. And that's the 5th day of waxing moon in the month of Marga in Chakrashala in Chittagong. So Vidyanidhi was a zamindar, and he was extremely rich and very pure in his actions. So he was a Brahmin whose lineage was extremely respectable. Sometimes he stays in Chittagong and sometimes in Navadvipa. So he was a disciple of Madhavendra Puri, and that is from Prema Vilas, where it appears. And then the Lord glorifies Pundarika. Sri Pundarika Vidyanidhi came to Navadvip because he wished to live by the banks of the Ganges. And Mahaprabhu knew prior to his coming that he had such a desire. And one day in the assembly of devotees, he started calling Mahaprabhu started calling Pundarika, my friend, my father, and he was crying. So his associate, when his associate asked him why he was crying in this way, so the Lord described Pundarika Vidyanidhi to them in the following way. His character is quite extraordinary. Just by hearing his name, the whole world is purified. But he dresses and looks just like a materialistic person in the midst of the adornment of the life of pleasure. So he was very rich and he was always well dressed and everything, but that's why many people did not realize that he was a great devotee. So no one is able to recognize him as a Vaishnava, yet he remains constantly merged in the deep ocean of devotion for Krishna. So he never bathed in the Ganga because he was afraid to touch the holy water with his feet, which he would respect. He would only go to have darshan of Ganga at night, and that also from a very long distance, not near, because he could not bear to see people engage in offensive behavior to the Ganga by gargling, cleaning their teeth, their hair, and having bath in the waters. So he never goes there during the daytime. He would go at night. So he never engages in worship of the deity without having taken a drink of Ganga water. Because of his apparently materialistic behavior, people are not able to recognize him. But that is Mahaprabhu saying, I feel unwell because I am not able to see him. That is Mahaprabhu narrating and telling about the good qualities of Pundarika Vidyanidhi. So Lord Gauranga, he stood up and started dancing and calling out, Pundarik, my father, Pundarik, my friend, my father, when will I see you? So Gadadhar and all the disciples, they were just watching. And then that is from Chaitanya Bhagavata. So Gadadhar became Pundarik's disciple. So Shri Gadadhara Pandit Goswami, Mukunda Datta and Vasudeva Datta were all originally from Chittagong. And so they were acquainted with Pundarik Vidyanidhi. Indeed, Gadadhar Pandit's father, Madhavendra Misra, was his good friend. And Mukunda Datta knew his transcendental personality. And that he was a Vaishnava. But Gadadhar did not, even though he was from the same town. That was, of course, a pretense for the sake of the Leela, because if he said that, he knew that there would be no Leela. So when Pundarik was living in Navadvip, Mukunda Datta told Gadadhar one day that he wanted to introduce him to a great Vaishnava. So Shri Gadadhar Pandit Goswami was a brahmachari from childhood and extremely detached from the senses and ascetic in his lifestyle. When he saw Pundarik sitting on comfortable cushions covered in sheets as white as a foam of milk and wearing very expensive clothes and perfume, smoking from a hookah, and generally surrounded by all the trappings of essential lifestyle, he was unable to recognize him as a Vaishnava. That means that Gadadhar Pandit was unable to recognize Pundarika as a Vaishnava. So indeed, he let him down because of the of the outer vision. He didn't realize how great personality he was. He was just looking at him and he was judging him. So Mukunda could see from Gadadhar's face what was going on through his head. And in order to bring out Pundarika inner mood, he recited 2 verses from the Bhagavatam that enkindled the flames of love for Krishna. And the verses are here. Please excuse me if I cannot pronounce correctly, right? Aho bhakyam sthana kalakutam jigham saya paya yad api sa asadvi lebhagatim thatri yuchitam tatu anyam kam va dayalum saharanam prapadye. And the second one is Putna loka balaghani rakshasi vriddhi rasana jigham sayapi harai stanam datva pasadgatim. So here it says it is these 2 verses are found in Srimad Bhagavatam, and the chapters and cantos are there. So the sister of Bakasura, the evil Putana, was sent on a mission to kill Krishna. He drank the Calcutta poison mixed with her breast milk, and despite her evil intention, awarded her the position of a nurse as Ambika Kilimba in Golok, who is more merciful than he, that I should take shelter of. So these 2 verses, this is the meaning. So as soon as Pundarik heard these 2 verses in glorification of Krishna's mercy, Sri Pundarik Vidyanidhi, he cried out, "Ha Krishna," and he fell to the floor in a swoon. He began to roll on the floor in ecstasy, knocking off the hookah and tearing his clothes. So here he's crying, just seeing how Putna was trying to kill Krishna. So when he saw this transcendental system of love on Pundarik's body, Gadadhar realized that he had committed an offense, which he began to regret. He decided that the only way to rid himself of this offense would be to take initiation from Pundarika. And he related this idea to Mukunda, who then communicated his desire to Pundarika, who happily set a date for the auspicious act. Mahaprabhu also gave his approval, and so Gadadhar took mantra initiation from Pundarika Vidyanidhi. So in Krishna Leela, Sri Pundarika Vidyanidhi is Vrishabhanu, and Sri Gadadhar Pandit Goswami is Radha. Because of his identity as Vrishabhanu, Mahaprabhu would call out to him as father when he was himself in the mood of Srimati Radharani. So the deep affection from their previous lives' relation became apparent between Pundarika and Gadadhar. So no one can understand the pastime of Vaishnavas without their mercy. Even though Pundarik Vidyanidhi was a great Vaishnava, he kept it a secret and appeared just like an materialistic person. One cannot recognize a Vaishnava through any superficial examination. So Krishna's devotees are also sometimes reluctant to reveal their real selves to those who are unworthy and thus make a pretense of being ordinary materialistic persons. So Gauranga Mahaprabhu is also sometimes called the Prachanna Avatara or hidden incarnation. In the same spirit, Pundarika put on the shadow of being sensualist for those who were capable of being deceived by someone's external appearance, just like the beginning we could see. So one day Pundarik Vidyanidhi came to see Mahaprabhu when it was already quite late at night. As soon as he saw the Lord, he was so overcome by love that he could not even pay his obeisances. Mahaprabhu was similarly anxious to see his most dear devotee, Pundarik, and he immediately took him to his breast and washed him with his tears of love. When the other devotees heard Mahaprabhu cry and call Pundarik father and treasure of love, they knew that he was most dear to him. Pundarik Vidyanidhi was also known to Mahaprabhu's associate as Acharya Nidhi. So there's a pastime here. Jagannath slaps Pundarika. So on the Oriana Shashti festival, Jagannath's servant dressed him in a cloth which still had starch in it. That means he didn't wash the cloth. He just bought it and dressed it. So Sri Pundarik Vidyanidhi was a pure such acharya, example, attached to the proper etiquette of Vaishnavism. When he observed this custom, he did not feel happy about it and said to his friend Swarup Damodar, "Why do they give this unwashed clothes to the Lord?" So Swarup Damodar answered that the Supreme Lord is beyond the rules and regulation, and have become general custom, and that therefore there was no fault. Vidyanidhi did not find this conclusion satisfying, and he countered by saying, that may be true for the Lord himself, but his servant should follow the rules and the scriptures. So this Sri Vigraha of the Lord is beyond the material qualities. So you can say this of him, but his servant are not of the same nature as he. So we have to judge whether their behavior is proper or improper. So Vidyanidhi, Vidyanidhi is dear associate and beyond any fault. But once again, we see that the Lord teaches particular lesson through his devotees. Here we wish to show that we have no right to make judgment or to find fault with the behavior of Jagannath's devotees. That night, an angry Jagannath came to Pundarik Vidyanidhi and gave him a dream vision. Vidyanidhi was frightened when he saw the anger of the Lord. He saw both Jagannath and Balaram slap him on each of his cheeks, and he started to cry out, Krishna, save me, Krishna, save me. Forgive me my offense, Jagannath. So Jagannath said to him, there is no end to your offensiveness. Just as there is no question of pure or impure in my case, the same hold true to my servants. You are staying here. You should know all this. If you thought that it was impure, then why did you stay at all? Go home then. And if you want to maintain your purity, so you can go home. You don't have to stay here. So when he woke up in the morning, the devotees saw the marks of the Lord's slaps on his cheek, which had swollen as a result, and they started to laugh at him. The pastime shows just how dear Sri Pundarik Vidyanidhi was to Jagannath and to Mahaprabhu. For the Lord only comes to the dearest devotees to personally punish them in this way. So Swarup Damodar was overwhelmed with joy and said that he did not know any such instance where the Lord had punished a man in the dream, but that day he saw it with his own eyes. He asked if there was any fortunate man as Pundarik in the three worlds. So he joyfully praised Pundarik, just as a friend feels delighted at the well-being of his friend. Swarup Damodar thought himself extremely lucky because of Pundarik's good fortune. So the deities of Lakshmi Govinda installed by Pundarik still exist today. In his birthplace, on an earthen pitcher bearing Pundarik's handwriting is also there. And on the upper part of the temple, there are two plaques containing Sanskrit slokas. Those, though damaged severely by fire, the text can still be read with some effort. In the archives of the Chittagong, the name of Pundarik is found. And the 13th generation descendant of his family lives in Mekhala. And this is a picture of angry Jagannath. Pundarik Goswami ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Maji.
brilliant.
Very
That
good.
was really good.
Yeah, really good.
Thank you.
Well done. Okay, so
Time for one more.
yeah,
You want?
one more, but yeah. Let's just have a check who else there is actually. Madhusudan Babu, I was thinking Vishwanath Chakravarti, there's quite a bit, isn't there? Hare Krishna.
All right.
I tell you what, do you want to make a start and then finish off tomorrow? Because this is quite a bit, isn't it, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur? What do you think?
It depends. I've done a bit of presentation and give a talk on it. I can do it tomorrow if you want, if you feel.
I think so, because he's one of the most important acharyas in this line. So let's take our time on this one. What do you think?
Yeah, no problem. I'll do it tomorrow.
Yeah, because he's important.
Yeah, I'll have to share slides and I'll
Yeah.
talk a bit more.
Yeah.
I've done a bit of research, so done.
Good. Okay, fantastic.
In there, so
yeah. Let's take our time on that one.
If you want to take a bit of time and anybody else wants anything else?
There's two more. Raghunandan. I don't know. Did anybody take that on?
No, thank you.
Oh, I have it. Okay. 21 past. No, we can finish it off tomorrow as well. Yeah.
3 tomorrow then.
Yeah, we can do it tomorrow.
Yeah. Okay then. Good. Hare Krishna. So let's stop with that. Any questions? Any comments? Actually. Anybody like to share anything about the pastimes that you've heard? Surinder, anything you'd like to share?
Hare Krishna, Nitai Gaur Haribo.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, so Pundarika Vidyanidhi Maharaj, he's the incarnation of Vrishabhanu Maharaj, the father of Srimati Radharani. And there is a pastime in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Mukunda Prabhu, he wanted Gadadhar Pandit to take Gadadhar Pandit to have a darshan of Pundarika Vidyanidhi Maharaj. So then they both goes to see to the place of Pundarika Vidyanidhi. And then when Gadadhar Pandit he arrived there, he saw Pundarika Vidyanidhi. He had a long hair with a scented oil, and like he was smoking a hookah as well, and like that. So at that time, he didn't appreciate the great spiritual position of Pundarika Vidyanidhi. And then he left, and then he explained, he goes to Lord Chaitanya, and he said, like, you know, he narrates the incident to Lord Chaitanya that Mukunda took him to have darshan of a great devotee. But then when he went, he saw Pundarika Vidyanidhi like in external appearance, he appeared like a materialistic person. So then Gauranga Mahaprabhu explains the great exalted position of Pundarika Vidyanidhi and advised him, because he said like, oh, in this way you have committed some offense to a great exalted devotee. So I advise you to take Harinam Diksha, initiation from Pundarika Vidyanidhi. So then Gadadhar Pandit become the disciple of Pundarika Vidyanidhi. It's like Mukunda, he took Gadadhar Pandit second time, and then Mukunda Prabhu, he recited verse from Srimad Bhagavatam. And then Pundarika Vidyanidhi, when he heard this verse, then he started exhibiting the symptoms of ecstasy. He started rolling on the ground and tearing his clothes and etc. because of great spiritual emotions he felt in Krishna consciousness. Yes, that much I remember, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Nitai Gaur Haribo.
Thank you so much. That was good. Very good. Okay. Anybody else? Anybody else would like to share anything or any questions?
Haribol, just want to say that everybody who put an effort was brilliantly done. So I wish I could do it.
You
Hare
can.
Krishna.
You have. Thank you. Okay. So,
Just a quick comment. It's quite interesting to listen about Pundarik Vidyanidhi, who's living a very kind of opulent life because he's in that position, you know, of wealth, and sound like a materialistic person. And there are many devotees and personalities like that, you know, you can't recognize them as Vaishnava. When I was listening to another pastime of another Shyam Charan Das, you know, who was also very, very powerful at that time. And he actually stood up against the Mughals. But in his personal life, he was a very, very advanced devotee, and he was a disciple of Sukadev Goswami. He was initiated at that Sukadev, but whether the tree under which Sukadev Goswami speaks, Srimad Bhagavatam. So it's a long, very, very long pastime. I was listening to the katha, and then you know, he actually still got his ashram in Delhi. He's a bit of like a parampara, you know, but it's amazing. But he lived a very opulent life. He was almost like a king, you know, and he was also very, I would say, you know, he knew yoga and all sorts of cities, but a bit of a mystic character as well. But anyway, these Vaishnavas are amazing characters. But this is obviously, you know, Pundrik Vidyanidhi associated with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes. And okay, thank you.
You. Great, thank you so much. Hare Krishna. So stop the recording. Okay, so we can go